Ulf Hellström.
Thank you very much.
Area Manager for ABB Motion in Sweden. Your presentation is titled Closing the Loop for Electric Motors. So
yes.
Please take the stage.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. It's to this very important event. I'm honored and proud to be here. So ABB is a leading global technology company, and we really want to energize the transformation of society to a more productive and sustainable society. We have a history of more than 130 years. We are active in 100 countries, and we are about 110,000 employees. And our purpose, why we are in the business, can be summarized in three simple statements seen on the screen. And we want sustainability to be embedded in everything we do. We work intensively with our own operations to improve, but also helping our customers to improve their sustainability. And within the next few minutes, I'm going to give you an example on how we are helping our customers in the motion business area. And this will be focusing on energy efficiency, digitalization, and sustainability. First, it's clear that the energy demand or electricity demand will increase in the future. So in addition to produce more of green electricity, we also need to consume our electricity smarter, more sustainable and more efficiently. And much can be done already with existing technology. And we have one very relevant example, which is not very well known, and that is electrical motors. Electrical motors consume about 40% of the Swedish electricity consumption. So electrical motors are an integral part of your daily life. You can find it when you are doing your commute to your office, if you go by train. You can find it when you buy processed food, for producing food and packaging food when you buy it in your grocery store, for pumps providing fresh water to your household, etc. But we can also find it in many industrial applications, in the steel mills, in the mines, and in the pulp and paper mills. All in all, 40% of the energy consumption, equivalent to 51 terawatt hours per year. If we look at the industry only, 65% of the energy consumed in the industry are consumed by electrical motors, equivalent to 33 terawatt hours per year. If we could use these motors more efficiently, we can contribute to a more sustainable world by lowering the CO2 footprint in countries with a different energy mix than we have in Sweden, but also to help to attack the capacity problem we have in Sweden. So, for a sustainable future, it is important to reduce the electricity consumption wherever it's possible. And using more efficient motors is an important part of the puzzle and can make a great impact. So what can be done? One good thing about electrical motors is the robustness and the long lifetime they have. The disadvantage of that is that we can find a huge installed base of old technology and low efficiency motors. By replacing those motors and frequency converters with efficient technology, we can reduce the energy consumption by 8%, equivalent to 4 terawatt hours. And this is enough to power charge 2.1 million electrical cars, assuming you're driving 12,000 kilometers a year, or equivalent to the production of 900 windmills. Due to this, a lot is also happening in terms of regulation by the authorities during the past 10 years, but also in the years to come. But technology has also advanced, which means that there is technology available today which can do much more than the regulations require. The development of digital technology has also enabled this. Before, it was expensive and difficult to measure whether a motor was correctly dimensioned or if we run them effectively or efficient. With our smart sensors, it's possible to monitor the status of the motors to, first of all, for predictive maintenance purposes, to avoid kind of costly maintenance stops, but also energy consumption can be calculated in a very cost-effective way, which means that you can identify opportunities for energy savings or energy efficiency improvements. So, energy efficiency is relevant for a sustainable society. Digitalization has made it easier and more cost-efficient to find the opportunities for this. What is now missing? In order to speed up the process and build a stronger case, we are proud to be working with Stena Recycling to add the circularity or the sustainability to this, meaning recycling of electrical motors, where we together have developed a strong process for circularity of electrical motors. This is how it works. The motors are equipped with smart sensors to identify the opportunities. Low efficiency motors are replaced with new technology, higher efficiency, and the old motors are recycled by Stena Recycling to ensure that they don't end up on a second market where the energy mix is worse and the environmental impact is worse. And there has been investments in the technology, in the process of separating the metals. The impact on transportation and logistics have been considered, and also the materials are reused now on the local market. And this means that the metals get a second life, which is the essence of circularity. And there are also additional benefits for the customers. I mean, they get high efficiency motors, which means that effectively their electricity bill will be lower. And they get also digital technology on their motors, which means that they can have they can see early warnings and kind of avoid costly unplanned stops. So this is a win-win situation. So we have signed together with Stena Recycling a long-term cooperation agreement to recycle the motors, and this collaboration is an important step towards circularity in the industry. And this has also great potential to release energy capacity within the industry. As much as 99% of the motor can be recycled, mainly iron, copper and steel. And this is made possible due to the investments made in the process, but also that ABB is the market leader in motors, which means that we get access to the motors, and Stena Recycling's leadership in recycling of different materials. Given the fact that there are 750 million motors on the worldwide market, and an average paper mill has 3,000 to 5,000 motors running 24 hours a day, this can make a huge impact for the environment. So together with Stena Recycling, we have had this in place since a year. We have discussed and talked about many of the industrial companies in Sweden with great interest. So as a summary, let's take a look at one of the examples with one of the collaboration we have in place together with SCA and their mill in Munksund.
So Munksund, that's where it happens.
Yes.
Well, thank you. It's interesting. There's only one question that's kind of troubling me. There must be a second-hand market for your motors. What if a company in, say, Tanzania buys it, and that would also be to prolong its life cycle, and that's also a way of being sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good question. This is actually partly what's happening today. The problem is that the usage of the motor, meaning the electricity consumption, is a big part of the whole footprint, the CO2 footprint of a motor. So sending these motors to another country where the energy mix isn't that green as in Sweden.
It's gold-based.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the alternative of recycling is much better.
Okay, so better to skip the motor than using a bad polluting motor.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is responsible then for the decision of discarding the motor? Is it ABB, it's Stena Recycling, or is it the end customer?
It's the customer. I mean, we help with our expertise with the analysis, the sensors, and taking in and out the motors, etc. But the decision is made by the customer, sure. And
based on the information from your sensors?
Exactly. Okay. That is correct.
Thank you, Ulf Hellström.
Thank you very much.